This night is coming, eyes are breaking time, the ancient drums are pounding.
Round 12 brings us to the tropical storm hit state of Texas. And after the tropical storm known as Imelda passed through, we now have another storm in process in the form of the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series. And this is round 12 of the season. The chase is getting ever so close now, and we can almost taste it. With Tanner Costa as the points leader, Chris Bouchard in second and Kevin Paskovich in third. It's all to play for here tonight. Unfortunately, Kevin Paskovich a bit under the weather, so we'll see how that one plays out as this race continues. 145 laps around here at Texas Motor Speedway, and it is set to be a great race as all. I had to make a late adjustment to some certain things, but we are going to have some exciting racing here tonight. A pretty short field by their comparison. In the truck series we have about 15 drivers set to take the green, and qualifying is already underway, so we will get to that in just a second. But before we do, let's go to our channel sponsor, that is iRacing iFlag. Make sure you go to iRacingIFlag.com, make sure you see what they have on offer, and if you do decide to buy something, make sure you put in the promo code esports2019 and you'll get 15% off your own purchase. So why not go to iRacingIFlag.com now and get your iFlag now. So it is truck night here tonight on the ESPN, the Esports Broadcasting Network. Right now we have Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series, and on the other side of the channel on YouTube and on Facebook we have Adam in the booth as he brings you the Asylum Racing Series in their truck series, and hopefully that's going to be a barn burner in itself. But right now we're going to focus on this one. This is the 12th round. Currently, let's take a look at the standings right now. As Matthew Tyrrell currently on the top of the standings, so we'll go straight into that one right now. I keep saying that. That was an epic ending, but anyway, let's go to it now. Let's go down to the track as we have some people down there. As we're going to go to one Mr. Tyrone Harris is out on track right now. as he's circulating around the track. Let's see what time he can put down as he comes down to the line. That was his outlap, I believe, so he's going to go around one more time for another go and see what he can get here. We've got Matthew Tyrrell on the pole, Tanner Costa in second, the points leader, David Biggett in third, Brandon Stokes in fourth, Rob Jenkins in fifth, Devon Darcy in P6, seventh will be Jordan Barry, eighth will be Byron Rodney, ninth Kevin Paskwich, 10th Mark Jenkins, and across the line goes Ty Harris. And where's that going to put him? In P11, just outside the top 10, ahead of Sean Weaver, Will Glynn and Mike Whittaker who've taken the times. Chris Bouchard and Michael Atkins Jr. not taking time here tonight. We do have 16 drivers in this event here tonight. As David Biggett is creeping around the track. Not I think he's just noticed that we're focusing on him creeping around the track. I want to say hello to everybody that is watching here tonight, and hopefully you're going to be entertained by this one. Texas always brings out the drama, always brings out the best in people, and always brings out the wrecks here. So those who are interested in just wrecks, then this is the place to be. If you're interested in hard racing, this is also the place to be. So great fun all round. We still see David Biggett just slowly pacing around the track here. So Matthew Tyrrell fastest by over 0.2 of a second on his lap, so he's going to be one of the people to meet. He's already won. He's already won 2 races this season after breaking his duck earlier on this season. As Chris Bouchard finally makes his way out on track, and no, he doesn't. Is he going to go this time? Yes, he will. So let's see what Chris Bouchard can do here at Texas. The man chasing his third Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series championship in a row. He's going, and it's probably been the most difficult one he's had so far. I mean, he has been pegged back quite a few times, and would love to be champion for a third time in a row, but competition is tough. Tanner Costa's really stepped up his game this season, as has the likes of Kevin Paskowicz and Rob Jenkins and everybody else involved in that one. It's been a very good season, very competitive season. As Bouchard crosses the line, where's this one going to put him in his first lap? And it's going to be one and done, and it's going to be pole position for Chris Bouchard on his one and only qualifying lap here tonight. And that is going to be everybody apart from Michael Atkins Jr., who never takes a lap around here. That is going to be in qualifying. That's going to do it. So with that, let's go to the flag as we ask everybody to stand on your feet, put your hand on your hearts as we bring you tonight's national anthem. So you join us for the 12th round of the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series Season 4 here at Texas Motor Speedway. And what a race we have in store for you. 145 laps here around this 1.5 mile to the grid for tonight's race. And Chris Bouchard does have the pole position with Matthew Tyrrell alongside him on that first row. Tanner Costa, David Bigger will be 4th. Row 3 looks like this with Brandon Stokes with Rob Jenkins. Row 4 would be Devin Doss and Jordan Barry, and row 5 would be Byron Rodney and Kevin Pasky, which have been under the weather today, but still in that championship fight. Row 6 will be Mark Jenkins and Tyrone Harris. Row 7 will be Sean Weaver and Will Glynn, and starting shotgun on the field on the last row of this 17 car field, I believe, will be Mike Whitaker and Michael Atkins Jr. Apparently there's 17 in this. I don't know why. Anyway, let's go to the track right now, as we're going to go to Chris Bouchard, who's got everybody rolling now. As we are going to get set for 145 laps of racing action here at TMS. Remember, they had that catastrophic flooding recently with the tropical storm Melda that passed through. Just a quick look at the weather. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. We are in Fort Worth, Texas. But anyway, here we go through turns 3 and 4. They come for the, as we get about to get this race going, the pace car will make that left turn onto pit road. The field will be in the control of Christopher Bouchard. And away we go. 145 laps are underway here at Texas, and it's going to be a straight fight between Matthew Tyrrell and Chris Bouchard in the early running of this race as they make their way out of turn 2. And a lot of shuffling going on between these guys as they make their way down the backstretch. We see Byron Rodney to the bottom of the track there. As I'm just cycling through trading paint, so just don't worry about that. As Byron Rodney side by side with Rob Jenkins right now as they make their way across the line. First lap is in the books. Chris Bouchard already starting to try and get away from Matthew Tyrrell as it's side-by-side racing still between Byron Rodney and Rob Jenkins as they come out of turn 2. Chris Bouchard still holding on to that lead ahead of Matthew Tyrrell. And for some reason it's reversed back to the old paint scheme. It's great. Anyway, oh my! He's going to come down the track. Is he going to get in anybody's way? No, he's going to stay out of the way. And we will remain racing here. But Matthew Tyrrell, early drama here for the 78. He's going to fall backwards to the field. That's going to promote Brandon Stokes up to second place now. Just ahead of Tanner Costa, the points leader there in the top 3 now. Devin Doss up to P4 in the University of Virginia number 95. Rob Jenkins right there as well, as he's already got away from Byron Rodney. Rodney is actually falling back to P8 now. Mark Jenkins and David Bigger. Chris Bouchard has already got out to a 1.3 second lead now. And a great start for him. Brandon Stokes in second there, just ahead of Tanner Costa. Go a bit back further through the field. The man that started at the back from the field, he is challenging for P9. Look at this paint scheme. I love this paint scheme on Michael Atkins Jr. Pepsi Game Fuel. Definitely a nice paint scheme there for him, as he's already racing behind Byron Rodney's just dispatched of David Bigger with Gordon Barry making his through as well. Making his way through, sorry, I apologise. Cyril falling all the way back to P12 now. He's chasing down to 27 of Kevin Pasky there, who's still from Phoenix. Glenn there, back in P13. And the Wet Willies number 12. Sean Weaver back there in P14. 15th is Mike Whitaker and Tyrone Harris in P16 and last. Looks like the gap's starting to come down between Chris Bouchard and Brandon Stokes now. The gap is just 1 second between the 28 and the 9. Tanner Costa still trying to hold off Rob Jenkins. Devin Doss now, who's moved up to 4th. And look at Devin Doss now, going to dive into the inside of the 97. And Devin Doss will try and take away 3rd place here as they come through 1 and 2. And Devin Doss moves up to 3rd. Tanner Costa not going to fight him too hard in the early running of this race. He knows it's a long race. And they have a long way to go. We have a five truck train there. 5 truck train. Try saying that 10 times fast. As here comes Rob Jenkins on his banging doors with Tanner Costa. Rob Jenkins, one of the outside contenders for the championship this season. Probably will be locked into the chase after these last few races. As a side by side, Mark Jenkins just waiting in the wings to see what happens. Michael Atkins Jr. right there as well. 5 truck breakaway from Jordan Barry, who's right there with Byron Rodney right behind him. David Bigger right there. Still getting smaller between Brandon Stokes and Chris Bouchard. And for some reason, Brandon Stokes running a generic paint scheme here tonight. Don't know why. Kevin Doss has got a breakaway there. It's going to be side by side between the two brothers, Bob Jenkins and Mark Jenkins. As there is Michael Atkins Jr. Just being the meat and the sandwich between those two. They've all dispatched Tanner Costa, who's fallen back to P7. Mark Jenkins getting a bit out of shape coming out of turn 2. But inside of the 33. Junior moving up to the 4th place position. And it's going to be a battle again between the brothers. The Jenkins brothers right there. Rob Jenkins on the inside, Mark Jenkins on the outside. Almost contact between the two siblings. As they come out of turn 2, still side by side. And if anybody knows how to race each other, it's definitely these two. And Jenkins having to give it up as Rob Jenkins moves back into P5. Meanwhile, back in the front, Brandon Stokes and Chris Bouchard there, almost on the same piece of real estate, as this will be your battle for the lead here at Texas. As the caution comes out for the first time tonight, that will be Kevin Pasky in trouble early on. And I did say at the beginning of this race he was a bit under the weather. I wonder if this might be a bit of a factor here. Gets a bit of the apron, couldn't control the truck. Into the wall he goes. And unfortunate there for Kevin Pasky. Was sitting 3rd in the points going into tonight's race. As he will get things going once again. Chris Bouchard expected to bring everyone down pit road. Once he catches the pace car, I'm guessing. And they do catch the pace car. So Chris Bouchard, your leader. Brandon Stokes in 2nd. Devin Doss in a very lofty 3rd place. Been showing some great form recently. And it's showing it here again tonight. Let's see who stays out. Does everybody bring them down? Looks like we got one person staying out. That would be Mr. Matthew Tyrrell. And the FedEx number 78. I'm not sure if that's a wise idea. simply with the fact that he's got that damage on the right hand side of his truck and would need to get that repaired. Let's take a look at the pit lane right now. David Bigger goes straight through his pit box and must have missed his pit box altogether. First person to move will be Michael Atkins Jr. He's going to make his way down the end of the pit road, but it's going to be Brandon Stokes winning the race off pit road. We've got a big scramble here coming down the pit road, but it's going to be Chris Bouchard off second. As everybody else makes their own way out, Will Glynn and Kevin Pasky staying in pit road for now. How long that takes them to come back out of pit road. There's Brandon Stokes there, winning the race off pit road there. Chris Bouchard doing everything he can to get off pit road ahead of everybody else. And he did. The biggest loser in that was actually Michael Atkins Jr. The biggest winner of that was actually Rob Jenkins. As Matthew Tyrrell does take it down pit road, he will not get the... Good for him. He will go down and get some of that damage repaired though. You see the right hand side of that truck is pretty much, well, it's very tweaked right now. Does he take a fast repair? Yes, he does. So using this fast repair early here. Not sure if it's the best decision, but he's gone with it anyway. So it's going to be David Bigger that is at the front here, but he did not to his pit stall. He drove straight through pit road. So unfortunately, he is going to be on the back foot if he does decide to stay out for the restart. See if Bigger does bring it down pit road at this point, because he needs to, and he doesn't. He's going to stay out. No, late entry into pit road leaves it to the very last second. So nice one. Anyway, back in the front, Brandon Stokes will be your leader as we go back to green here. He's opting for the outside line for the first time tonight. Striking new colour scheme for Brandon Stokes. He usually runs the a different colour for these races, but black and white, not so bad. I'm wondering if he's got trading paints for him. I'm going to give trading paints another. I'm sure he's got a. No, I'm pretty sure he won't be using a generic paint scheme for this one. Either one. No, they're not exactly in line right now. Not sure what's going on there. They kind of need to tighten up at the back. And Tyrone Harris does tighten up as we're going to keep to this camera level. There goes the pace car. And Brandon Stokes not wasting any time. We are back on the green flag conditions here at Texas. So it will be Brandon Stokes in the lead here as they come out of turn 2. And for some reason, because trading paints is stupid, they decided to keep the paints white. That's great. Chris Bouchard already on the back of Brandon Stokes here as they come out of turn, go through 1 and 2. And there's looks like he's had a bit of an update on that paint scheme. Looking very nice there. The Carolina Simworks number 9 as there goes Devon Goff. Fighting there with Rob Jenkins. Jenkins, I think, might attack the wall coming out of turn 2. So that will not have helped him at all. He's got Michael Atkins Jr. right all over his rear tailgate as well. And the backstretch. To pass and Brandon Stokes. Great move there by the 28, the reigning champion. And second in points here tonight. He might take over the points lead though if Tyler Costa has a bad result. Let's go back to Tyler Costa. He's all the way back in. Where is he? P9. There he is. Just behind Byron Rodney. So interesting to see why he's gone so far back, as we've seen a few shakers and movers back there. That will be Tyler Vickery, who's an extremely late entrance into the race. He's already 16 laps down, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Mark Jenkins in trouble though. Let's find out what happened to him just now. It looks like the back end stepped out and he didn't collect anybody. Managed to save it, so great save there by the 33. And he's back up to speed again, albeit at the back of the pack. Matthew Tyrrell is already out of this event. And not a good start by him at all. One man taking it in his stride though is that man in the 28. He is leading this thing. There's a big wreck in the background. Michael Ackers Jr. and Devin Doss going around. And Sean Weaver not slowing down. Clever boy. Let's take another look and see what happened here. It looks like Devin Doss lost the back end. And it looks like he had a bit of help in the end. I don't think Michael Ackers Jr. had anywhere to go, to be fair. I'm going to go back and take a look at this as well. So, and this was your battle for third place here at Texas. Back end went away. Michael Ackers Jr. nowhere to go. Just got into the back of him. Both of them went around. Nobody really at fault here. It's just the truck just got from underneath him. And Michael Ackers Jr. just a victim of circumstance in that incident. And he is down at P13. Michael Ackers Jr. is trying to limp that thing back, but it's got more damage on it than Devin Doss's truck does. Doss making it to pit road just behind Mark Jenkins. It looks like Sean Weaver is going to make it into pit road as well. He had a spin trying to avoid the incident. Michael Ackers Jr. going to be into pit road as well, as we are going to have pit stops happening right now. I'm looking for the pit stop cam. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. And who's going to win the race off pit road? We'll find out in just a second. It will be Chris Bouchard. It's going to be close between Brandon Stokes. Rob Jenkins going to have third. Jordan Barry is going to be on road in fifth. So the field really getting shaken up right now. And Jordan Barry, the biggest winner out of that, moving up to P5. Will be P4 once this man brings it down pit road. That would be Mike Whitaker. There you go. He does bring it down pit road. That's going to hand the lead back over to Chris Bouchard. Brandon Stokes into second. Rob Jenkins in third. Gordon Barry in P4. By Rodney P5. Kevin Paskwich P6. Will Glynn up to P7. Tanner Costa in P8 now. David Bigger P9. Tyrone Harris running out the top 10. Devin Doss, I believe he's taking his fast repair. And he's in P11. Sean Weaver in P12. P13 will be Michael Ackers Jr. Watch for these guys to start making their way forward. That'll be Devin Doss and Michael Ackers Jr. Sean Weaver kind of likes to stay at the back until it's absolutely right. Mike Whitaker just there. Unfortunately, had that little incident at the just before the caution came out, actually. And Tyler Vickery, 15 laps down, just had a lucky dog, amazingly. And he is on track as well. The lights are expected to go off on the pace car very soon. And we're going to be able to see if Chris Bouchard will take the high line or the low line. We saw Brandon Stokes take the high line last time around. As I'm messing with my microphone, just bear with me for a second. There we go. So lights go off on the pace car this time by, and Bouchard opting for the outside line. Jordan Barry, a few blinks there, not going to be happy with that one. I'm guessing the people around him, Rob Jenkins, Byron Rodney, Kevin Pasky, all there, going to be all around him. And if he's blinking like that, that's not going to help matters for them. As we get ready to get things going once again here at Texas. Making their way down the backstretch here at the 1.5 mile oval. And this hasn't been rescanned. The turns 1 and 2 still in that old configuration, the high bank. They actually lowered it about a year ago now. About a year or two ago now. 18 months ago? Something like that. Anyway. To make it more raceable. And hopefully they will scan that soon. But anyway, the pace car is about to peel off. And we are ready to get things going once again. Chris Bouchard not wasting any time here. As they come down across the line. And Bouchard going to chop the nose off Brandon Stokes very aggressively there. Knows that Stokes is a threat as they get back under power once again. And he will be. Stokes getting a big run there out of turn 2. Good run for him so far. Rob Jenkins under pressure from Jordan Barry. And Byron Rodney and Kevin Pasky having their own little battle as well. Tanner Costa side by side with Will Glynn. Will Glynn with that little duel right there. Michael Atkins Jr. already up to P9. As he's already dispatched of Devon Doss. Devon Doss is still all the way back down to P12. Sean Weaver, as I already mentioned, likes to stay at the back until it's absolutely necessary. And Sean Weaver is actually in pit road, so problems for him early on. As Chris Bouchard has lost the lead to Brandon Stokes. As I said, that Stokes had a big run coming out of turn 2. He must have captured the lead. We still have a long way to go in this race, so we could still have a shock result in this. Sean Weaver gets moving now. And the backstretch is coming into turn 3. Brandon Stokes still your leader. Rob Jenkins in third. Still under pressure from Jordan Barry. He's keeping the pressure on, although he's not close enough to make a pass just yet. Byron Rodney back there in P5. Kevin Pasky in P6. We're having a decent run for the condition he's in right now. Michael Atkins Jr. in P7. Will Glynn in P8. David Bigger in 9th. Tanner Costa falling back to P10. And look at this battle behind them. As Tyrone Harris and Tyler Vickery is actually 15 laps down, but still putting people under pressure here. Mark Jenkins right there as well. Devon Doss not able to make any advancements forward. He's staying back there in P13, just ahead of Mike Whitaker. We'll go back to the battle for the lead here. Can Bouchard make his way back around Stokes here as they come out of turn 2? Can Jordan Barry get around Rob Jenkins? It's looking likely that he might try and move very soon. Look how close he is right now. Out of turn 4 they come. He's still just as close as they come down across the line through the quad oval. Will Jordan Barry make a move? This will be if you can make it. But your battle for the lead here is heating up as well. We've got two separate battles here. One for first place. Lead battle for now, though, as Chris Bouchard trying to find a way past that number 9. But Brandon Stokes making that truck very wide. Almost as wide as the width of the track itself. And not letting that 28 get by at all. And they're still making their way around the track. We are on lap 35, about to tick over to 36 here. As Bouchard just holding station behind the 9. Rob Jenkins starting to get away from Jordan Barry. As Kevin Pasky has gone around Byron Rodney. Byron Rodney under pressure from David Bigger as well. Bigger going underneath in 75 as they come through 3 and 4. And David Bigger going to lose the back end and go for the grass. Keep it out of pit road. And he does. But a big spin through the grass for the 57. Thankfully, he keeps it off pit road, though. And loses it just in front of Tyler Vickery. Not going to be enough to bring out a caution, though. His night has really gone from the penthouse to the outhouse for David Bigger. As we're looking at Michael Ackers Jr., he's moved his way up to 5th place already. And is already starting to put Jordan Barry under pressure. Rob Jenkins as well. As he's putting Brandon Stokes under pressure, as Chris Bouchard has now moved back up to 1st place. Almost gets into the wall out of turn 2. That might give Brandon Stokes a bit of a run there going into 3. Not going to make it work so far. As actually this is slowly turning into a 5-truck battle for the lead. And Michael Ackers Jr., after his collision with Devin Dawson earlier, who would have thought that he'd be actually in the top 5 battle, as he goes underneath Jordan Barry and takes away 4th place. So Michael Ackers Jr. is on a charge here as we've got one in the wall back there. That's Rob Jenkins. Rob Jenkins under pressure from Michael Ackers Jr. Ackers Jr. going to take the outside line now as he moves his way up to 3rd place now. Rob Jenkins probably got a bit of damage now. He's under pressure again from Jordan Barry. And we're seeing this battle still going on between Byron Rodney and Kevin Pasky. It was involving David Bigger, but Bigger had that spin through the grass, through the quad oval. Out there in P14 now, all on his own. Does have a bit of damage after hitting the wall. He did spin trying to get it going and he did clatter the wall pretty hard. Mark Jenkins pretty much all on his own there in P13. Ty Harris in P12. Mike Whitaker in P11. Will Glynn in P9 now. Actually, Kevin Pasky in trouble. Pasky is around. Take another look and see what happened here. And again, it's a case of the back end just stepping out there. And he did the right thing here. He did not try and correct it. He just let it go. It was enough to only give a bit of a tap on the wall. Other people just try and correct it and it just snaps back up the track. That's where your caution will come out, though. We're focusing on this lead battle. Chris Bouchard getting a bit of a twist there, going through 3 and 4. That's going to give Brandon Stokes the advantage now going across the line. And Brandon Stokes will take that lap. And a very I wouldn't say uncharacteristic mistake, because it's those little mistakes that have been niggling Chris Bouchard all season. And they did come back to bite you eventually, and it did just then. As I've said a few times already, it's a long way to go. We are just coming about to 100 laps to go actually. We're on lap 44 of 145. We've already had 2 cautions here tonight. As we've got one around in the grass there, that is Kevin Pasky again. That will be caution number 3. Pasky just not having a good time out there tonight. Let's take a look and see what happened to him. Coming through 3 and 4, and the back end will have stepped out again on the 27, and it did. This time it did try and correct it. Fortunately, he didn't hit anything, went for the grass, but the leaders were right behind him, and they were always going to be too close to not prevent a caution. Pasky having a bad race here tonight. Pilot victory will not get the lucky dog, however. That will go to Sean Weaver, I believe. Everybody. There goes Weaver around the pace car. As we're going to go to the pit lane and see who wins this race off pit road now. Here comes Michael Atkins Jr. Can he win the race off pit road? No, it's going to be Chris Bouchard winning the race off here. It looks like Jordan Barry might have beaten... Wait, oh! Problems for Brandon Stokes here. What happened to him right here? Let's take a look. Comes out of his pit box and just stops there. Not sure what the problem is for him there, but he is back out of pit road again, but stopped at the exit there, and he's back up and running once again. He might have a few problems here. He falls back down to P12. He might make that time back up though. He might give him his spot back. Now he will take some fresh tyres, and boy does he need them. Pilot Vickery decided to stay out. He will get the wave around once we go 1 to green. We're less than 100 laps to go now. And while they're circulating around the track, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a second as we go side by side for the first time tonight. And we're back live here at Texas. Lights are off on the pace car. We are about to get things going once again. Chris Bouchard opted for the bottom line this time, and he's got a new contender to his outside. That is Michael Atkins Jr. right there. Jordan Barry in third. Byron Rodney in the top 5 here as the pace car peels off. Chris Bouchard going to hold him down a little bit. And away we go. And I believe the problem with Brad... A clean getaway from Bouchard, and even cleaner getaway from Jordan Barry as he moves up to second place, disposing of Brandon Stokes. Not Brandon Stokes, Michael Atkins Jr. Big blink there from Jordan. That's going to really put off the drivers as there goes Michael Atkins Jr. to the inside. He's going to try and take that second place back. Jordan Barry not going to let him have it easily. Despite the blinking that's going on. Rob Jenkins in 4th. Byron Rodney holding on to P5 just ahead of Devin Doss now, who's made his way back up to P6. Tanner Costa back up to P7. Mike Whitaker in the top 10 now. He's in P8. 9th is Tyrone Harris. And 10th is David Bigger. Brandon Stokes already up to P11 and putting Bigger under pressure as they come through the quad oval. And Bigger just going to let him have it looks like, because he backs off. Stokes takes it on the outside line. Good position change for the 9. Back in the front, Chris Bouchard having it all his own way here. He's already 8/10 of a second to the good over Michael Atkins Jr., who's finally got the clear on Jordan Barry. Rob Jenkins under pressure from Byron Rodney now. Byron Rodney not running full time this season. We're going to switch to another camera angle. And we're going to take a couple of laps and ride on board with your leader right now. That is Mr. Chris Bouchard. And just see as we go on board with Chris Bouchard for about 2 laps. That was a couple of laps around Texas with the old race leader Chris Bouchard. Now he's got about a second, over a second lead over Michael Atkins Jr. Almost 2 seconds actually. We've got a 4-truck battle here for second place pretty much, as they've broken away pretty much from 6th place Devin Doss there, who's just ahead of Tanner Costa. Mike Whitaker and Brandon Stokes is moving his way up as we got an incident there. And Tanner Costa, the points lead, is involved. And it's involving Rob Jenkins and Byron Rodney. And let's take a look and see what happened here. We said there was a 4-truck battle, but the back end again stepping out on the 89. Byron Rodney unaware to the incident that was going on, and Tanner Costa involved in a big way there. Byron Rodney, I believe, only got slight damage from that. Didn't get off. It wasn't so badly off on that one. You see Rob Jenkins losing the back end. Byron Rodney did tag the wall, but didn't get it as bad as Rob Jenkins and Tanner Costa did. Let's take a look on board with Tanner Costa. We're going to go with the gyro cam for this one. As you see him there running behind Devon Doss. Wasn't expecting Rob Jenkins to bounce back down the track like he did, and unfortunately that's how it ended for Tanner Costa. He's back up and running again. We've got a smoker there. I believe that's Rob Jenkins smoking heavily. And it is. As everybody's in pit road once again. Who's going to win the race off pit road here? It's going to be Chris Bouchard. Michael Atkins Jr. off second. Jordan Berry off third. Brandon Stokes off fourth. I believe Devon Doss off fifth. Tanner Costa staying out. I believe he's got an EOL. So he will have an EOL because he's been in pit road. Repair that damage on his truck. I wonder if he's going to bring it back down just to get some tyres and fuel here. He will. Ooh. Had to stop and let everybody by, so that was a good call for Tanner Costa to slow down and just let everybody get by. Tyler Vickery got to get the down for the wave around. It looks like Kevin Pasky, or is it Sean Weaver? Actually, Sean Weaver back on the lead lap now. He's in pit road to get a service. Byron Rodney still in pit road here. I wonder if Byron Rodney's just getting some repairs there. He's been in there for 2 laps. He is 2 laps down now. So, interesting call there for the man in the 75. Had a good run up until this point. He was up there in the top 5. Fortunately, it came undone for him again in this instant with the spinning 89 of Rob Jenkins. Lights are off on the pace car again. Tyler Vickery will go around for another wave round. That will put him only 12 laps down now. Should put him 12 laps down. 13 laps down. Okay. Not even halfway here. We're under our 4th caution here at Texas. And despite all the spins, everybody keeping it relatively clean. All the cautions being caused by spins off of corners, so just another testament to how that track is reacting. Byron Rodney is out of this event. As Byron Rodney not still in pit road, as we're waiting for the thing going once again. As there goes the pace car, Chris Bouchard under power once again, and let's see who's going to win here. Is Mark Whittaker going to spin for the grass here and through pit road? That's going to be a penalty for the 707. But nevertheless, we are back on the racing here again. Michael Atkins Jr. having a bad start. That's going to promote Jordan Barry up to 2nd place, but he's already under threat from Brandon Stokes, who's up to 3rd place already. Got to dive it in there into turn 3. And they're going to be side by side. Will Stokes get the clear out of turn 4? He will. And Brandon Stokes already back up to P2 despite having that incident in pit road on the previous caution to the one we just had. Now he's going to do all that work to try and close the gap between himself and Chris Bouchard. It seems like alongside him and Michael Atkins Jr. able to be the only ones to close the gap between themselves and the reigning champ. Jordan Barry back down to 4th place. Devon Doss now into P5. Right, Whittaker will... Looks like he might have served his penalty already, I'm not sure. So we go back to the front now. Chris Bouchard still your leader. Michael Atkins Jr. now up to P2 after passing Brandon Stokes. Jordan Barry still keeping them honest. He's right there. Devon Doss not too far behind either. As this top 5 have broken away. David Bigger and Tyrone Harris fighting for the 6th spot now with Will Glynn right there. Rob Jenkins still recovering from that incident with Byron Rodney. He is back there in P9, just ahead of his brother who's in P10. And the caster, after his incident earlier, he was involved in that incident with Byron Rodney and Rob Jenkins. He's recovering back there in P11. Meanwhile, back in the front, we've got some battling going on between Brandon Stokes. As we've lost Michael Atkins Jr. Another incident there through the quad oval as Mike Whittaker going to complete his penalty as... Oh, wow. Okay. Taking a little look here. Atkins Jr. going to get into the outside wall. Going to get tagged by Jordan Barry. And he will go around. Not going to be in pit road though, but he will tow it, and he's in pit road right now. That might be the end of his night. He has a tendency to end things early if things don't go away. And there he goes. He's on the hauler and he's out of this event. Chris Bouchard now extending his gap now. Well, he didn't extend his gap. His gap's come down to less than a second. Brandon Stokes, it looks like he's been released now and is chasing down the 28. Jordan Barry into 3rd. Devon Doss into P4. And Will Glynn up to the top 5 now. He's just got David Bigger right behind him. Will Glynn looking for his best result of the season here tonight, but still a long way to go. Is everybody getting really spread out now? Byron Rodney's back out on track. He is 6 laps down. I'm not sure why he decided to stay out of the truck for so long. As they go now between Stokes and Bouchard now to 8/10 of a second. They've already put a very good gap over Jordan Barry. Gap between Barry and Stokes is now 1.3 seconds. Devon Doss almost a second back from Jordan Barry. Woodland not far behind. He's keeping him honest. So out of the 17 that took the green here tonight, we have had 2 retirements here. Michael Atkins Jr. and Matthew Tyrrell. Matthew Tyrrell having trouble early on after hitting the wall. Deciding to call it a night early and get a beat on traffic, as they say. Michael Atkins Jr., as you just saw, had that tangle with Jordan Barry. Spun through the quad oval and decided to call it a night early, despite the fact that he had a fast repair. Oh, actually, I don't think he had a fast repair. He might have used that up early, but anyway, back to the action. Brandon Stokes starting to fall back a bit from Bouchard. Will Glynn, this battle between Will Glynn, David Bigger and Rob Jenkins really starting to heat up now. And Bigger flirting with that apron. Don't want to do that around here. Sean Weaver going slowly through the quad oval. Just trying to stay out of everybody's way. Will Glynn doing everything he can to hold on to that 5th spot now, as he's got 2 very good drivers behind him in David Bigger and Rob Jenkins. doing everything he can to get around that number 12, but not going to make it happen here. He did lose a bit of momentum there, going through turns 3 and 4. I said he was flirting with the apron. He flirted with it a bit too much there, and the lady that is the apron kind of slapped him in the face and said no. That let Rob Jenkins through the inside, and Tyler Vickery coming out of pit road there. Decided to get mixed up there with the leaders, just ahead of Rob Jenkins. Now going to try a pass on Nothing. What's happened to Will Glynn, who's lost positions to both David Biggett and Rob Jenkins? Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, got a bit of a tank slapper coming out of turn 2. That's what happened to him. That ultimately led to him losing 2 spots there. As we are officially now halfway in this race. Just seeing Rob Jenkins get dangerously close to the wall there. Looks like everything's finally starting to settle down with everybody here. Tyler Vickery still trying to make his way through the field and get his lap back to Hardway. There he goes to the outside of Devon. Why do I keep calling him Devon Doss? Jordan Barry. Actually, Devon Doss has just been passed by Rob Jenkins. So Jenkins on the charge now. Devon Doss could not do anything about the 89. Chris Bouchard is literally streaking away at the front. He is already 1.1 seconds ahead of Brandon Stokes. Well, let's take a look at Tanner Costa there, putting Mark Jenkins under pressure. He's got Tyrone Harris right behind him. Easy last drivers on the lead lap. Tyrone Harris being the last driver on the lead lap in P10. You've got Kevin Pasky, which is 1 lap down. He's just circulating right now, just all by himself pretty much. He's got his brother right behind. Weaver, who's a lap down there, right behind Pasquich. Only 1.6 seconds back. Mike Whittaker all by himself had to serve a penalty. He's 1 lap down now. And Byron Rodney, 6. Definitely running by himself as we've got caution out again. That will be Brandon. And one of the guys that can really challenge Chris Bouchard for. He caused a lot of problems here as Jordan Barry slammed into him. Devon Doss slammed into him. Come on board with Brandon Stokes here and see exactly what happened. We're going to go to the far chase cam for this one. And it's a case of that back end just stepping out on the 9, as it has done with a lot of other people here tonight. And there it goes, the back end just starting to step away from him, and he tries to correct it. Goes back up the track. As there goes Jordan Barry hitting into the 9, and there goes Devon Doss hitting him as well. It's almost as if these guys have never heard of a brake pedal. And while they're trying to figure things out, we're going to step away for another commercial break. We'll be right back as we go side by side for the 2nd time tonight here on ESPN.
through the wire. Darkest night is coming. Eyes are breaking time. The ancient drums are pounding.
And we're back here at Texas as lights are off on the pace car once again. Chris Bouchard in leader, Rob Jenkins in second, David Bigger in third, Will Glynn in P4. So a nice bit of a shake up there in the field as the man that was involved in the wreck that brought out this caution. Brandon Stokes is back up to P7 after taking a fast repair. Kevin Pasky, which got the lucky dog, he is back on the lead lap now. Let's see if he can get a good result out of it, because he's currently sitting in P3 in the point standings right now, and the people around him just keep tripping over themselves. That might actually work in his favour. Chris Bouchard looking to take over the points lead here tonight, with Tanner Costa struggling as well, but here we go, fielding the control of the 28 now, and we are back on the green here. Everybody finding out to see what positions they can get around here, but Rob Jenkins under pressure from David Bigger as they make their way in towards turn one. A bad start there by the 89, but the 57 going to take it away. Tanner Costa in P4 just ahead of Brandon Stokes now, who's flying his way up for the field now, already up to P4 from P7. A great restart there by the 9, and I wonder if he might have jumped the restart here. Go back to the start. No, it's just the outside line was very slow to get away, and now finds himself battling for third place already. Brandon Stokes on a charge. Down below the 57 he goes. They're going to be side by side as they come through 1 and 2. They're going to be almost banging wheels there, but well, 3 and 4, sorry. Almost banging wheels, but Brandon Stokes going to take away third place, find himself back up in the podium spot, but Chris Bouchard has already checked the hell out again. He's already 1.2 seconds up the road from Rob Jenkins, who's currently holding on to second, but he's going to have a hard charge in Brandon Stokes up on his rear tailgate very soon. The man that started in P4, Will Glynn, it's almost like he's switched places with Brandon Stokes. He's already fallen back to P7 behind his brother Kevin Pasky, who is in P6. Tanner Costa holding on to that 5th spot, but only just because he's got the 27 and the 12 all over his rear tailgate. Tyrone Harris in P8, Mark Jenkins in P9, Mike Whittaker, after getting his wave around, is in the top 10 now. There's this man at the front already, 1.2 seconds the gap over Rob. Gap between himself and Brandon Stokes, who is not really getting away from David Bigger and Tanner Costa. Costa going to go to the bottom of the track to try and get around David Bigger, and he will make that move stick. As here comes Rob Jenkins now. Bouchard has made a mistake somewhere, and that's let the 89 get to the underneath him. Let's take a look and see what happened here. He had a pretty big gap there, and he's hit the wall coming out of turn 4. That is a big hit there, and Rob Jenkins now assumes the lead here at Texas. Doing his mother Judy proud, and he is up into the lead of this race. Can Chris Bouchard respond though? But he's got to try his best. But oh, Bouchard into the wall again. That 28 driver is rattled. And like I said earlier, the little mistakes, the little niggling mistakes, they build up and they fully explode. And it looks like the wheels are starting to come off. Champion trying to fill that truck to see if it's still drivable, but he's hit the wall hard, pretty hard twice now. And almost into the wall again, coming out of turn 4. He's really struggling now. And just like that, he's got the points lead. The man he's chasing for the points lead in this regular season, right behind him, that is Tanner Costa. Will Glynn holding on to that 5th spot as well. He's back up to the top 5 after getting around David Bigger. But the man to be focused on right now is Chris Bouchard, who is absolutely rattled right now. His cage has been absolutely shook. He needs to kind of get his composure back and move his way forward once again, but the damage on that truck might be taking its toll. He's not able to close the gap between himself and Brandon Stokes, and Tanner Costa right there, and Bouchard again struggling, hits the wall very hard, and that is going to do it for him. He's going to fall backwards to the very back of the pack. Oh, P9 to be precise. That's going to require a pit stop. Let's take another look and see what happened here. And you saw it right there. That touch right there speared him into the wall. Big hit there for Bouchard. Unfortunately, it really has fallen apart for the man in the 28. Really did not want to see this happen this early, this portion of the race, as we are just beginning lap 92 of 145. Rob Jenkins now finding his mirrors full of that number 9 of Brandon Stokes. And all of a sudden, Will Glynn finds himself up to 3rd place after Tanner Costa makes a mistake as well, I believe. Let's take a look and see. Might have gone a bit too far back here, but no, it's actually Will Glynn actually got a very good run on Tanner Costa and actually took away the position legitimately. But legitimately, this is turning into one hell of a battle for the lead now between Brandon Stokes and Rob Jenkins. Who's going to come out on top of this one? And will we stay green long enough to see green flag pit stops? It's become a very rare thing to see this season. It would be nice to see. Rob Jenkins doing everything he can to keep that number 9 behind him. As Tyler Vickery has put his truck on the hauler. Devin Doss, it looks like his night might be done as well. But this is your battle for the lead. We're going to keep focused on this. As Brandon Stokes to the inside. Now he will try and take the lead. Jenkins going to keep it wound up on the high side and will cross the line first. As they're still side by side, go through 1 and 2. And still side by side as they come out of 2, but looks like Brandon Stokes might win the drag race towards turn 3, and he will. Brandon Stokes back to the point here at Texas. Good battling going on between these two. Rob Jenkins not letting him get away. Going to get a bit of a toe off him as they come out of turn 4. Going to try and take the inside line. But Brandon Stokes, just like he did with Chris Bouchard earlier, going to make that number 9 truck as wide as possible and not let Jenkins by. We've had problems for Will Glynn Actually, no problems. He's actually been passed legitimately again by David Bigger. Tanner Costa now falls back to P5. This battle between these two still going on as Rob Jenkins now trying to get around the number 9. And they come down towards the line. Great racing between these two. Not going to have the leverage to try and get around him. So he's going to fall in behind him. Again, as he's going to go underneath Brandon Stokes this time around. No, he's not. He's going to still file in behind him. Still right there. Brandon Stokes holding on to that high line. It seems like the preferred line around this course, as we got one down on the apron. That's Chris Bouchard again in trouble. And that might be night over for the 28. It's really falling apart for him now. As he got the apron again, I think he was trying to come down pit road to get that damage fixed, but ultimately, with that spin and the penalty that will come with it for hitting that cone on the entrance to pit road, that might be the end of his night here, as looks like Rob Jenkins' tyres are finally giving up the ghost as he's fallen away from Brandon Stokes. Back at the battle for third place, Tanner Costa now moves up to third. Will Glynn has now dropped all the way back. I wonder if he's had a problem here. And he has. Big problems there for Will Glynn. Let's take a look and go back a bit further. Did he touch that apron? No, the back end stepped out. The recurring problem has happened again. The only difference is Will Glynn kept it below the apron. And we stay under green here at Texas. It didn't hurt him too bad. He's only down to P8 now. Mark Jenkins in P9 still had a very quiet race tonight as Mark Jenkins. But he seems happy enough just circulating around there. Jordan Barry in P10, 2 laps down. Brandon Stokes your leader, Rob Jenkins in second, Tanner Costa up to third now. If things stay as they are for the 97, he will extend his points lead at the top of the regular season standings. So there is Tanner Costa still racing with David Bigger, Kevin Paswich in P5 right now, running very quietly, very nicely actually, trying to hold on to a top 5. He will be Tanner Costa's closest challenger in the point standings. Chris Bouchard looks like he might lose a ton of points here. He's back out on track, but 3 laps down, and he's chasing down Jordan Barry to get a lap back off him. But it's not going to be, as the caution comes out again, that will be Will Glynn again spinning. And a big hit there for the 12. Let's take a look and see what happened. Just rubbed that wall. Oh! Not sure what's going on there. Oh, lost control. Hit the side of Sean Weaver. Sean Weaver. Let's go on board with Sean Weaver and see what happened here. Well, Sean Weaver himself got up into the marbles, I think, coming out of turn 2, and he did, and up into the wall. So he was going slowly as it was. Will Glynn, and you're going to see it, boom! From... So, we're under caution number 6 here. That was probably the funniest wreck of the night. I apologise, Will. 1 minute on that will be for... Did all that work to get back to the front, and all of a sudden finds himself under caution conditions again. Chris Bouchard and Jordan Barry will stay out for a wave around. Bouchard has actually just come out of pit road, so no harm, no foul for him. Jordan Barry will get the lucky dog. He's in pit road in a very awkward angle. And And it's going to be Brandon Stokes winning the race off pit road here. And Rob Jenkins off second. Kevin Pasky off third. Good one for him. Tanner Costa there. There is David Bingham. We're seeing Will Glynn just struggling around the track at the back there. As he's stopped on the apron. Not sure what's going on there. He's already taken his fast repair. See what happened here. He stopped in. He stopped on the apron. I believe he was letting Jordan Barry by, and I think that is the case. He did get an EOL for going down pit road too early while it was closed. Get that damage repaired. So he will fall to the back of the field, and then I believe he's going to let Devin Doss by next. While we're under our 6th caution of the night, we're going to step away, have another break here. We'll be right back in just a moment time.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Now we're back here at Texas, and lights are off on the pace car once again. Pace car is actually onto pit road, and Brandon Stokes going to bring us back to green here. Very quick caution that actually. So we're back under green flag conditions here at Texas, and Brandon Stokes, as you'd expect, just absolutely bulleted everyone on the restart. Rob Jenkins under pressure from Kevin Pasky, which has to come out of turn 2. And into turn 3. And can Pasky hold on to that 3rd place? David Bingham's been strong all night. Mike Whitaker finding himself in the top 5 despite that penalty he got earlier. He's been pretty much reprieved of that now. Tanner Costa right behind him, and Mark Jenkins finding himself in the battle as well now. So hopefully that might work in his favour as he already gets around Tanner Costa. Going to try underneath Mike Whitaker. I can talk, I promise. And now we've got another Jenkins in the picture here tonight. Kevin Pasky trying to close the gap between himself and Rob Jenkins. Finds himself in a very good 3rd place right now. Rob Jenkins not letting Brandon Stokes get away. These two were having one hell of a battle before that caution came out. So we'll resume that again as Mark Jenkins now going to look to the underneath of David Bigger and take away 4th place, and now he will set his sights on that top 3 as they come out of turn 4 down across the line, and we're on lap 110 of 45 here. 145 that is, not just 45, we've already got past that. But when they cross the line again, and they will do after these 2 corners, we will only have 35 laps of this race left. And Brandon Stokes currently in the catbird seat with Rob Jenkins in 2nd, Kevin Pasky in 3rd, trying to fall away back from Rob Jenkins. Mark Jenkins now finds himself in P4. David Bigger trying desperately to hold on to P5. And look who's that coming through the field. That will be Mr. Chris Bouchard. And if you're just joining us, what happened to Mr. Bouchard, I hear you ask? Well, he was leading for a good part, and then all of a sudden just... Bouchard making his way back through the field, albeit he is 2 laps down right now. Just got very rattled there and unfortunately threw it all away after hitting the wall twice and then falling backwards and having a big spin there on his way into pit road. That made him fall backwards a lot. But Rob Jenkins not letting Stokes get away at the front. He's right there in that 89. Mark Jenkins now has found his way past Kevin Paskwich as we've got Rob Jenkins and Mark Jenkins 2 and 3 right now. So, Rob Jenkins 2nd, Mark Jenkins 3rd. This could be a good result here for the Jenkins brothers, if they can hold on. Judy, I won't pull the plug tonight. This is actually a better race than what we did show on Friday nights. So, that is... a given. But anyway, Rob Jenkins still there in 2nd place, really closing up to the back of that number 9 now as they come through the tri-oval. We are 30 laps to go here at Texas, and who's going to get the win here? It is that close between the 9 and the 89. Mark Jenkins trying to close the gap but not really making it work so far. He sived his way through the field but was unable to, is so far unable to close the gap between himself and the rest of the pack. We only have 8 drivers left on the lead lap. Tyrone Harris in P8 is the last driver on that lead. He's in 5th at 1 point. Tanner Cotter in 6th. David Bigger still in P5. He's 2 seconds behind that man right there. That's Kevin Paskwich. And Paskwich has Chris Bouchard closing in on him. Mark Jenkins still 1.2 seconds back from Rob Jenkins and Brandon Stokes. And look at this battle now. Here comes Rob Jenkins to the inside of Brandon Stokes, and can Stokes hold on and try and keep it wound up on the high side like he did before? That's just no, and Stokes is in the wall. Another big hit and falling foul of that wall at the exit of turn 4. This might fall into the advantage of Mark Jenkins now. And would you believe it? We could actually have a Jenkins 1-2 here, and Stokes makes another mistake here. Mark Jenkins is up to 2nd place. Rob Jenkins is stomping out to a big lead there now. 2.5 seconds for the man in the 89. Mark Jenkins in P2. Kevin Paskwich in P3 now. Brandon Stokes falling down to P4. And we've got a wreck there. That's Chris Bouchard in trouble. No caution will come out, but he will be in trouble there. That will end his run as he was having a really good run there, trying to get the lap back the hard way, but not going to happen now. Rob Jenkins is your leader. Mark Jenkins in second, but now Kevin Pasky is closing in on the back of that 33 as Brandon Stokes still right there despite hitting the wall and falling back. What a race we are witnessing here tonight at Texas, as there goes Brandon Stokes now to the inside. Here, but Stokes going to take it away, or is he? Yes, he will. Stokes back up to P3. There. This is your battle for P2 right now, as we are 25 laps to go here. Pasky started to fall back immediately, so problems there for Pasky. Let's take a look and see if there was anything wrong. Yeah, he hit the apron, so he will have lost a ton of momentum, and now he has his brother coming up right behind him. David Bigger starting to close the gap, and now look at this battle. Brandon Stokes just can't stop fighting these Jenkins brothers. Let one Jenkins get away, he's not going to let this one get away now. As Mark Jenkins runs wide, here comes Brandon Stokes now back to second place now. He has a bit of an uphill struggle now if he wants to catch up to the back of Rob Jenkins. Rob Jenkins is 3.5 seconds to the good over Brandon Stokes. And with the damage on the right side of that number 9 truck, it might be a bit difficult for him to close the gap. So we'll see how this pans out in the remaining 20 laps or so. And Judy Jenkins, how are your fingernails? Do you have any left? See how this one pans out. I'd be interested to see if Mark Jenkins can pick up the speed again to try and close it to the back of Brandon Stokes, and it looks like he is. He's not letting him get away. Oh, Mark Jenkins, a big mistake there. That's going to let Kevin Pasky back through now. So big mistakes by people there, and they're falling backwards all the time. Tanner Costa going to find his way up to 5th place now. Kevin Pasky back up to 3rd. David Bigger up to 4th. And Rob Jenkins still extending that lead over Brandon Stokes. Over 4.5 seconds now. And it's turning into pretty much an easy race now for Rob Jenkins. Kevin Pasky still holding on to 3rd. He's let Will Glynn go. Willie Glynn trying to look for his lap back the hard way as well. And David Bigger right behind him. Tanner Costa looking for a top 3 finish as well. As we are 20 laps to go now at Texas. What fingernails? Exactly. As Chris Bouchard has finally put his truck on the hauler, he has called it a night. He was so dominant in the early stages of this race, but unfortunately it all fell apart for him after hitting that wall through the tri-oval. Did it again on the next lap around, and then it just all fell apart from that point onwards. So Chris Bouchard, definitely unfortunate tonight, and might have his 2nd place taken away from him by that man right there, Mr. Kevin Pasky. Really, really stepping up his game despite being under the weather here tonight. He's got to try and fend off the guys of Tanner Costa, and David Bigger is actually falling behind Costa now. Mike Whitaker starting to close down on these guys. Mark Jenkins has fallen all the way back down to P7 after that spin he had. It wasn't a spin, it was a sideways moment. But he is still in this fight. If anybody else makes a mistake, then it could work back in his favour. As Pasky goes around and David Bigger goes around at the same time. And that's going to be caution number 7. And amazingly, Pasky does not hit a thing. And this man is going to be absolutely livid in that cockpit to see that happen. Did all that work to make that gap up, and he was 5 seconds to the good. And caution number 7 comes out. If I'm Rob Jenkins, I am absolutely pissed off right now. Excuse the language. So Rob Jenkins, we're going to step away for our last commercial break. And the interviews as they happen, so you do not want to go anywhere. This is going to be exciting, the final part of this race.
Crawling through the wild, darkest night is coming. Eyes are breaking time. The ancient drums are pounding.
We're back here just as the pace car peels off. It's going to be Rob Jenkins going to bring us back to green here, and this will be the final part of this race here as we're underway. And can Rob Jenkins hold on? That is the burning question here for this race. He gets off to a very good restart, but Brandon Stokes, I believe, has burned his fast repair now and will have a fully strong car for the rest of this race. Is he going to be able to hold him off? That will be the we'll find out the answer now. Mike Whittaker now finds his way up to P3. Kevin Pasky in P4. Tanner Costa and David Bigger side by side for P5. David Bigger going to win the battle, it seems. But that one, Mark Jenkins going to be right there as well. He remained in P7. Will Clint finds himself back on the lead lap after the caution, so watch for him as he comes through. He's had a very good run so far tonight. Coming down the backstretch they come, and Rob Jenkins still holding on. Is it going to be Brandon Stokes? No, Stokes going to stay in behind the 89 as they go through 3 and 4. Lap 135 is underway right now. And Stokes, the 89, but watch for that man right there. That's Mike Whittaker stalking. He knows how to win races, and he knows how to play the waiting game, so watch for him. And also watch for Kevin Pasky, which he is one that's been looking for a race win all season this season. Just not quite worked out for him as he runs slightly wide coming out of turn 4, but still keeps it on the track, so good for him. Mark Jenkins now finds himself up in P5, gets around Costa and Bigger at the same time. Will Glynn already up to P9 and working on the back of Tanner Costa. You saw earlier, he was on having a great run here earlier until he had that spin. And is now finding himself in a battle for a top 5 spot here at Texas. He's working on the back of Tanner Costa. Costa was the points leader going into tonight. He will still be the points leader, I believe, at the end of this, as we're 10 laps to go here at Texas. And who is going to get the win here? It's been one hell of a race here tonight so far. One Barry coming down pit road for an unscheduled stop. Not sure what that's about, as I believe he was back on the lead lap, so he's going to lose a lap again. Rob Jenkins looks like he's starting to step away a bit from Brandon Stokes, so this is looking positive for the man in the 89, but Brandon Stokes not going to let him get away that easily. He's won a couple of races this season just off the back of a close result. We're going to have another close result here tonight. Brandon Stokes right there, Mike Whittaker right there, Kevin Pasky starting to fall away a bit, but he's still right there. Mark Jenkins, the last driver in the top 5, but Will Glynn has gone around Tanner Costa and David Bigger spot as well. So keep an eye on him in the 12. He's going to be a fast one to contend with in the last part of this race, as we're less than 10 laps to go now. 7 laps to go now, actually. And who's going to get it here? You've got to think it's only one of these top 3. Mike Whittaker there in the 3rd spot. Oh, Brandon Stokes goes around. There's going to be caution number 8 coming out now. Brandon Stokes, it all comes apart for him. And with 6 laps to go, we will have 1 round of green, white checkers, I believe. And heartbreak for Brandon Stokes at the death there. Lost the back end of the truck, it seems. And he did hit the wall. And he's already used his fast with big twitch there from the 9. Wow. Take a look at it from a far chase cam. Team there coming towards turn number 1. And he knew it was happening. He slowed right down. Tried to overcorrect it again while he was slowing down, and unfortunately spun him round into the outside wall. To contend with now, he hit side on to the wall, so unfortunate there for Stokes. But look at this top 3 now. Rob Jenkins, your leader. Mike Whittaker 2nd. Kevin Pasky in 3rd. Mark Jenkins in 4th. Will Glynn in the top 5 as well. I said watch out for him. David Bigger in P6. Tanner Kai Harris 9th now will be Brandon Stokes after his spin. John Barry staying out. A lucky dog after his pit stop, and there he goes. As Sean Weaver is 1 lap, 2 laps down now. Byron Rodney is 3 laps down. They've done pretty well to get those laps down. As Devin Doss, 25 laps down, is back out there in P14. He will get back up to P13 when he gets this lap around, I believe. Actually, as he's going to get past Chris Bouchard on behind the wall. Mike Whitaker, meanwhile, he wins the race off pit road. Rob Jenkins off second. Kevin Pasky off third. Will Glynn off pit road in P4. And I'm in two minds as to who's going to be the ESPN driver of the night. It's between two drivers. And it's Will Glynn for having the run that he's having tonight. And Kevin Pasky, despite being really under the weather, able to hold it in P3. A great result, a great position for him to be in at this late stage of the race. So I'm going to leave it up to the chat there in YouTube. Who will get the ESPN driver of the night? Will it be that man, Will Glynn, or will it be this man here, Kevin Pasky? One of these two will get the ESPN. Great determination to stay out there and just be there where they are now. Where they'll end up, who knows? As we've still got to finish this race yet. Byron Rodney and Devin Doss staying out to get wave rounds. Gordon Barry already got his lucky dog, so he is now only one lap down. Got Weaver there in P11. Devin Doss did get back up to P13. He has already surpassed Chris Bouchard. Lights go off on the pace car. Brandon Stokes has just come out of pit road now. And he's going to make one last attempt to get him back up there and try and get a win, but it's going to be very, very close. We're going to have 2 laps to go when we go back to green. And Mike Whitaker in the catbird seat right now. He will bring us back to green for the finale of this race with a hope to get his first win since last season. So four of the 5 drivers in the top 5 looking for their first win this season. Pasky has won races before, and Mark Jenkins has won races before. Same for Mike Whitaker. One driver that's looking for his first ever win is Will Glynn. As we're waiting for the pace car to peel off, and there will go the pace car. Mike Whitaker has control of the field as he's going to hold them down, and he's not going to go. He's going now as Rob Jenkins has a horrible restart. They're going to be 3 wide at the line, and it's going to move into second. Mark Jenkins is going to go around, and we're going to have Rex here, and the caution will come out, I believe. Mark Jenkins and Jordan Barry going around. We're going to go back to the front of the field now. It's going to be Mike Whitaker, your leader, as we're going to come round turns 3 and 4 for the white flag. Kevin Pasky is going to be his closest challenger as they come down towards the line. Who's going to get the win here? White flag is out. No matter what happens, we will finish under green here as Kevin Pasky getting very close to Mike Whitaker as they come out of turn 2. Will Glynn in 3rd place. But as they come through 3 and 4, is Pasky going to try one last stab at it as they come through turn 4? No, they're not. Mike Whitaker will come down, cross the line and win at Texas. Kevin Pasky will be 2nd. Will Glynn in 3rd place. David Bigger in 4th. Rob Jenkins fallen to P5 after a horrendous restart for the man in the 89. But Mike Whitaker gonna be a man taking the checkered flag here tonight. A fantastic win for the 707. Really, really kept it out there. Won the race off pit road. That was very important for him. What a race we've seen here tonight. Definitely one for the neutral race fan. As that is going to be a race winner right there. Mike Whitaker bringing home the checkered flag here tonight, and we are going to try and reach out to him if he's on TeamSpeak. And I don't believe he is, so we're not going to speak to our winner today, unfortunately. So we're going to reach out to our second place finisher here at Texas, and that's going to be Kevin Pasky. Kevin Pasky, you gave it all you got at the end there, but ultimately second place. Despite you being a bit under the weather, you've got to be pleased with that one.
Yeah. That was pretty interesting. That was a lot of fun. Congrats to Mike. I just wasn't fast tonight at all. I thought we had a good run on him coming to the white flag, but then I overcooked it going into one, and that was that. So, but yeah, it was overall, happy for the finish. Got to thank, of course, phenomenal teammates, Ronnie and Willie. Congrats on third place, by the way, Will, and Byron and all those guys. And of course, you for broadcasting, Sam. We appreciate it. But yeah, that was one hell of a night.
Yeah, and you did have some troubles early on there. You had a few spins which put you really on the back foot and put you actually a lap down at one point. Did you think at any point that you were actually going to be able to get yourself back up into that top 5 fight?
I knew attrition plays a big part here, but so I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So the whole idea was just to try and keep the truck as clean as possible. And yeah, I spun it. I think that's a personal record for me. I think I spun it 4 times at different points in the race and never hit anything once. I don't know how I did that. I need to bottle it though and sell it. But yeah, we just didn't, just tried to be there at the end and had a good pit stop and got a good restart and thought we were going to be able to do it. And then not quite. But like I said, again, congrats to Mike. And we just kind of suck at Texas. So I'm really happy with the second.
Absolutely. And it was a toss-up between you and Will to see who would get the ESPN Driver of the Night tonight, because Will having the result he is, that's probably his best result of the season, and you driving through the pretty much the sickness barrier here tonight to get the position you did. So I think tonight we're going to give it a joint reward for both the night tonight, award tonight.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's always good to beat your little brother. I don't get to do it very often these days, but no, I'm more appreciative of it, man. And thank you for doing that. And I'm gonna go have a nap or something. I don't know.
Before we let you go though, we go road course racing once again next week as we head to Watkins Glen. What are your thoughts going into that one?
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, just Watkins Glen is Watkins Glen. These new trucks, momentum's a big, very important factor, especially there. So it'll be interesting. Also, the setup in these trucks there is very, very, very loose. So it's going to really come down to tire management and throttle management and what you do and how you do to keep the truck clean. I'll see how it plays out for 50 laps or however long it is.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, I know you said a lot of thank yous already here tonight, but anybody else you'd like to give a shout?
Just of course, PH Aware, PH Aware, Actelion Pharmaceuticals, the PH Human Project that they do, which is helping out so many patients, myself included. So we really want to thank them for all their awareness efforts and all of their efforts in, getting affordable medications to patients. Of course, again, all my teammates, and special one this week to my dad, David, who has just getting ready to go back on the road. So I know he's going to be out for a while and want to give him a shout out. He watches just about all these races.
All right, well, KP, congratulations on the second place. This has probably really picked up your day with this result, but you being under the weather, well, I'm going to let you go and recover from that, and yeah, we'll see you next week when we head to Watkins Glen.
All right, thank you, Sam.
So that was our second place finisher, Mr. Kevin Pasky. Very happy with that second place, despite the being under the weather here. So him and Will Glynn both going to get the ESPN Driver of the Night award tonight, as we are going to actually grab Mr. Glynn and Will. Well, what do you think about that? A bad restart from everybody all around, but you came out on top and got a top 3 out of it. You got to be happy with your result right now.
Yeah, definitely stoked after all that, everything that went on in the race. Had to think skinny on a couple restarts, and that one right there, definitely had to think skinny. I know talking to Rob a little bit after the race, he had an issue with he was just dragging his brake a little bit, and luckily made it fit between the wall and that truck, and kind of skirted out there.
Absolutely, and I believe this is your best result of the season. So. Really coming on strong here tonight. Do you like Texas? Is this the kind of track that suits your style?
I'll be honest; these mile and a halves have always been a struggle for me for sure. And for some reason, about halfway through the race, I kind of fell into a rhythm a little bit and felt good. Was able to put on good 10, 15 lap runs at a time. Kind of gained some positions back here and there. Obviously got caught up with that lap car there. Definitely my fault on that coming out of 4 or out of 2. And that kind of set me back a little bit. And then it was just kind of trying to maintain and hoping that I could get back in a position to put myself in a top 5 finish.
Absolutely, and I mentioned this to KP while I was interviewing him, but it was a toss-up between both you and KP to see who would get the Driver of the Night award for this race. Both for your one for your determination to get back up the top 5 after your spin, and KP for driving the way he is, like with his illness. And I decided that at the end of the day, I'm going to give the ESPN Driver of the Night award to both of you. So it's going to be a joint award for both of you brothers. So gotta be pleased. So congratulations to you for that one.
Awesome. I appreciate that a lot, and hopefully, can build on this momentum going into the playoffs here. A couple of tracks that I really like coming up. Obviously, we've got a couple road courses, or got the Glen coming up, and Dega is always that lottery ticket.
Absolutely. And speaking of the Glen, we're off there next week. What are your thoughts going to that one? Because I know, judging from what I've heard from KP, it's not going to be an easy setup to get around for that one.
With that track, I've been putting in a lot of time practicing, working on the road courses. It's something that has always been a struggling point for me, and I'm having a lot of fun actually enjoying it. So I think that it'll be a fun race regardless. I think I'll be able to, put on a little bit of pace. Maybe a little bit better than some of the guys that don't put in the time there. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping for another, hopefully at least the top 10 there. If not, hopefully we can just maintain position and points and go from there.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the 3rd place tonight. Your best result of the season. ESPN Driver of the Night, along with your brother Kevin. Before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to, say thanks to for tonight's result?
Yeah, I just want to thank KP again for kind of getting me into this whole sport, and thank you to yourself and ESPN for broadcasting these races and making sure everything runs smoothly, and really helping us out a lot. We appreciate that for sure. And definitely to all the drivers too, that come in and week out, and through thick and thin, we run some races that sometimes, if the setups are loose, they breed cautions, and these guys stick around, and they have fun, they enjoy it, and that's what we appreciate, is running around with guys that want to run and have fun. And tonight I think was one of those races. Definitely considering the early cautions, everybody kind of stuck it out as much as they could, and I appreciate that more than anything. And a big shout out to everybody that kind of spends their time working with each other and having fun out there, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and definitely a fun league to come along. So Anyway, Will, definitely kudos going out to you for this result. Bringing home the this always makes me laugh. The Wet Willies number 12 Toyota to the podium. Congratulations one more time, and we'll see you next week when we head to Watkins Glen.
Thank you again, Sam. You have a great night.
So that was our third place finisher, Mr. Will Glynn, in the Wet Willies number 12. Always makes me laugh, that one. But that is going to do it for us. I've nearly lost my voice after such an exciting race there. What a race we have had here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And definitely one you're going to want to go back and watch after such great racing all around. And a lot of attrition here at Texas, as you always expect here, with spins and, well, mainly spins. All 9 of tonight, 8 cautions, 9 cautions. Let me take a look there. I think it was 9 cautions. 8 cautions being caused by spins through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So definitely contentious race here. But tonight, Mike Whitaker comes home with the win. Kevin Pasky in second and Will Glynn in third. Tanner Costa will extend his points lead at the top of the regular season standings. So going to be well worth the result for him. Rob Jenkins will have closed the gap slightly and probably moved up a couple of spots. Kevin Pasky will definitely have moved up into second place after tonight's result. But let's take a look at the result here. The results here tonight as we head towards tonight's finale. And coming home with the win for his first win since last season will be Mike Whitaker. Kevin Pasky comes home across the line for second place, and Will Glynn, his best result in the season, he'll cross the line for third place. David Biggers sits in fourth, and Rob Jenkins, after a poor start on that last restart, comes home in fifth. Sixth going to Tanner Costa, seventh going to Tyrone Harris, one of his best results of the season, and eighth going to Brandon Stokes after he fell foul of a late race caution. Ninth going to Jordan Barry, and 10th going to Mark Jenkins. In P11 going to Sean Weaver, P12 going to Aaron Rodney, P13 going to Devin Doss, kept it on the track at the end, albeit 25 laps. Chris Bouchard, what can I say about him? Led a lot of the laps here tonight, but unfortunately it all fell apart for him midway through the race, and he ended up putting it on the hauler. He had to settle for P14. Tyler Vickery started the race late, about 16 laps down, but turned a few laps and had a bit of fun, and decided to call it a night, even though he was way behind. He still managed to gain a couple of spots and get P15. Michael Ackers Jr., early retirement for him. He was in P16, and Matthew Tyrrell was your first retirement. He'll be last on the board in P17. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight here in the booth at ESPN. If you wanted some other truck action, you will see that on the other side of the channel we had the Asylum Racing Series, and what a race they had for that one. Adam had the call for that one. Tomorrow night we have the Western Super Series, as they have the Super Late models at New Smyrna. Adam will be on the call for that one, and then Adam will be back in the booth on Wednesday night as they head for the big one for Top Fuel Racing, the 4th annual to Indy 500. 33 drivers, including myself, going at it for a $1,000 purse. You do not want to miss that one. That is probably the biggest event we have on the channel at this moment, so you do not want to miss it. Make sure you tune in and show your support, as we will bring home Indy 500 champion once again. But for now, that's all that's all from me. That's all from ESPN for tonight. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green. Congratulations to Mike Whitaker, and we will be back tomorrow night for more racing action with the Western Super Series.